Hi everyone, I'm FMGreeno. Welcome along to episode 25 of the Greeno Tour. This is my FM21 journeyman series around Europe. I'm currently managing Budapest Honved. So we're about halfway through, or just over halfway through the season here in Hungary. We've just made it past the winter transfer window. Let's go and have a look at how we're getting on. So I guess the transfer business is as good a place to start as any. It's not been the most active window for us, not for the want of trying. We did lose one player, Bojan Sankovic. We have sold him to Pushkash Academia. They're not much of a challenger to us this season. In fact, they sit bottom of the league. So I didn't mind letting him go there. We've sent a few players out on loan, youngsters mainly. One player we did bring in, you can't see because he's behind the back of my head here, but there he is. Nathan Teller. He's an English player. Came through the ranks at Arsenal. Played a few games for Tottenham before heading out to Portugal. He's come in to play on the right-hand side. We've had a slight change in the way we're playing, and I think he's going to suit that quite well. You look at his stats, he's not brilliant all round, but he's got really good pace and acceleration, and I think that's going to be a big boon for us. It's been a couple of months in game time since we were together last. Obviously, we had that winter break. We played a few friendlies, drew with Mainz, lost to Kozice, and lost to Dresden. So it wasn't great. We were shuffling the side around, trying to get some fitness into people and what have you, though. When we came back, we had a fairly streaky kind of 1-0 win against Budafok, who were a fairly weak team. And then we played Jászberény in the Hungarian Cup and beat them 2-0 with a fairly rotated team. It's been a bit ropey since then, if I'm honest. We had a very, very tough run of games. We played Fehervar, got a 1-1 draw against them. Mezőkövesd, also a 1-1 draw, away from home this time. Ferencváros, who are just too strong for us this year, they came to our place and beat us 2-0. We have triumphed in the Hungarian Cup 4th round over 2 legs against ZTE. We beat them 3-1 at their place in the 2nd leg. Sandwich between them, though, was a loss at Kisvárda with literally the last kick of the game. So league form has not been great, and it's necessitated a bit of a change in formation. We'll see that in a minute. Let's go and have a look at the table, though. As you can see, we are sat in 4th in the table currently, which isn't too bad. We got 34 points from our 21 games. Ferencváros are walking the league this year. They are 20 points ahead of us. So, yeah, I can't see us catching them with, what have we got, a dozen games left or so? Fehervar are 7 points ahead of us in 2nd place. Mezőkövesd, just 2 points ahead of us, though, in 3rd. Kisvárda right behind us, 1 point behind, though, in 5th. So it looks like Fehervar and Ferencváros are going to be the top 2. Mezőkövesd, Honved and Kisvárda fighting out for those other 2 European spots. Though, of course, only one of them is guaranteed. The rest depends on the Hungarian Cup. As you can see here, we have the draw for that. We've had a fairly favourable one. We have been drawn against Kaposvár, who are the only remaining 2nd division team in the draw. Obviously, Ferencváros are in here. Fehervar are not. So, unless us or Ferencváros win the Cup, can't really guarantee European football for finishing in the top 4. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, I think. In today's game, we are travelling to Debrecen, who are safely in mid-table, a decent little outfit. It's the first game since that transfer window ended, so it's a good place to bring you back, I think. As you can see, we have changed formation. This is to try and arrest that little slump we've been on. So we've moved from that 4-3-3 or 4-3-2-1, depending on how you look at it. And we've decided to go with a fairly attacking 4-4-2. Instead of using inverted wingers, we are using genuine wingers. We have 2 strikers, so I just don't want it to get too crowded around here, and I'd rather these guys hung a little bit wider and provided some genuine ammunition into these. Molnar is going to play as a trequartista, which hopefully means he's going to come into this hole a little bit. Doesn't look like it on the map here, but that's where I'm hoping to find him, and Petkovic up front. We have Epel on the bench, obviously, more of a target man if we need him later in the game, trying to go a bit more directly into him. Otherwise, it's pretty much the back 4 you'd expect. Middle of midfield, fairly standard. Gazdag is on the bench. Hamer and Lagator start. Let's go and get into the game, see how we get on. So, I'm hoping that we can arrest this little slump we've been on. It's not been great. We've really not been creating very much either, which has been disappointing. We've had quite a lot of possession in the games, but we just haven't been able to turn that into chances very much. So, I think having 2 men up front and a couple of genuine wide men, hopefully will give us a little bit more creativity out wide. But we shall see. Debrecen making a fairly strong start to the game here. Only a couple of minutes on the clock, knocking the ball around quite nicely. Obviously, with this system, it means we've gone to a 2-man midfield rather than a 3-man midfield. Is that onside? I think it is, isn't it? That was fairly fortunate. Came back off the post and landed straight to their striker, but I guess they were unfortunate not to score in the first place, perhaps. It was a good move, good shot, and that guy completely unmarked, 6 yards from goal, tucked it into the empty net. So, work to be done. Demand more from the team. Come on, boys. That drops us down to 5th in the table currently. That's not ideal. We really, really need to be in those top 4 places, and I'd like to think we probably need to finish 3rd, certainly to be guaranteed a European place for next season. Of course, a lot of that depends on whether we are actually here at the start of next season. There has certainly been more interest in me from other clubs, and we were offered interviews at a number of clubs over the last couple of months. Of course, part of the problem, I guess, you could say, with this save is I've not been able to talk to all of them. Oh, nice goal there from KD. Obviously, if it's a club that doesn't fit the criteria for the Greeno Tour, a club that I haven't seen play live or been to their stadium, then I have to turn the job down immediately. So there are a few jobs, a couple in Germany that I had to just reject straight away. There was one in Denmark, Esbjerg, which is a team I saw probably about 12 years ago, I guess. A buddy of mine who works in the oil and gas industry was living out in Esbjerg, so I travelled over to visit him for the weekend. We saw them play against Odense, I think it was, who had Eric Jemba in their lineup that day, if I remember rightly. They were sat in 11th place in the Danish top division, which is a higher reputation league than the Hungarian division, but their wage budget was about half. Oh, what a hit from Molnar. Yeah, it was about half of what I've got at Honved. So, whilst in a way it could have been a step up, I suppose, moving into a higher league, it certainly didn't feel like it, particularly when you had clubs like Midtjylland and you got Brøndby, Copenhagen. To have a club that only had about a £40,000 a week wage budget seemed like possibly a little bit too difficult. Well, things are going okay now. We've only had 2 shots and scored with both of them. Oh, there we are. We've had a third now, so it's not quite 100% strike rate anymore. I'd certainly be happy if we can come away from here with a win, though. Possession, we're not bossing as we normally would, but I guess that's partly down to the fact we've lost that man in midfield to put another one up top. Only to be expected. But yeah, overall, 2-1 at half-time. I'm pretty happy with that. Debrecen obviously had slightly higher XG than we have, but there's only one stat that really matters. That's in the top left-hand corner there. So let's get into the dressing room. I think we're going to tell them they're going well, but they're capable of even better. And we'll have a quick word with the defenders, saying that we have faith in them. The same with the midfielders. And we'll get out for the second half. No changes needed, really. We're going to have to keep an eye on fitness levels. We've had a lot of games in the past few weeks. When we came back after the winter break, there were quite a lot of league games scheduled. And the cup games have gone to 2-legged affairs now, all played in midweek. So we've been playing sort of Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday for the last 3-4 weeks. So the condition is taking a little bit of a battering. Got to the hour mark though. Still 2-1, fairly happy with that. Playing out from the back here, Chanyi, the left back. I don't know where he thinks he's going, but Lagator out the KD. So you can see now we've got genuine wide players. So they're trying to get down to the byline rather than cutting inside. That should be easy enough for Chanyi to pick up, but he's not done great with the clearance there. Oh, that was a dodgy old tackle from Sam Byram. Oh, goodness me. It looked like it was coming, didn't it? We were a little bit out of shape. Byram went flying in with a crazy sliding tackle. Obviously didn't quite recover his position in time. Sabitsky gets around him. And Donut Baran with a very easy finish. Completely unmarked there. So that takes it back to 2 apiece. So I think it's time for me to go in and make a couple of tactical changes, a couple of subs. And we'll be back in a moment, see how we get on the rest of the game. So we've brought Epel up front. He's come on in place of Petkovic, just to give a bit more of a physical presence up there. And Gazdag, as you can see on the ball here, has come on. What a ball. Oh, Molnar. Oh, should have scored there, son. Should have scored there. Okay, we might need to think about another change here. We've got some very, very tired legs. So I think maybe we'll take Hamer off. Maybe we'll take the new boy, Teller, off. Trouble is, if we bring Teller off, we haven't really got a winger that can go on that side. So maybe it is going to be Hamer. We'll bring Oliver Rathbone, ex-Rochdale player, on. 10 minutes to go. We're going to have a little shout of demand more. See if we can push the boys on a little bit for the last few minutes. Opportunity here. KD with a free kick in. Oh, I thought Epple was going to get on the end of that and nod it home. Sadly not. Hoot Wagner taking his time over the kick. Boots it long. We win the header, but give the ball straight to Debrecen. Oh, what a ball that is. Oh. That missing man in midfield seems to be a problem when we're defending, doesn't it? If only we could play 12 players, we might be alright. Whatever I seem to do is leaving a hole somewhere. So that's a bit of a problem. We're going to have to go attacking now. Very attacking, in fact. We're going to get the balls going directly. And let's see if we can rescue a point out of this game. It doesn't look like it, does it? There's not much happening. Just a couple of minutes left on the clock. 5 minutes of injury time, but we're halfway through that already. Still no highlights whatsoever. Oh, dear. Disappointing 3-2 defeat today. Fortunately, the other results today weren't too bad for us. Fehavar only drew 1-1 with Pushkash. And as you can see here, Kishvarda only got a 2-2 draw at Budafok. It's enough to take them above us today, but at least they didn't get a win. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. The game wasn't great. There's some more tinkering to be done, I think. Look, I just don't know what formation to use with these teams to get them out of this funk. But we'll keep working on it and see how we do. If you did enjoy it, please drop a like on there for me. And of course, if you've got any comments about this episode or the series as a whole so far, I would love to see them below. And don't forget, come and hop on the Greenobus. If you're not yet subscribed, please do so. There's plenty of room for you all. It just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you soon for some more action here with Honved. Bye for now.